As Zambia counts down to the 13th August general elections, PTV2 Zambia is your trusted source for every major update, every key development, and every decisive moment.
Campaigns are underway, promises are being made, and the battle for votes has officially begun.
During this election season, we will break down the 2026 general elections, comparing today's political landscape with 2021 and previous elections.
We'll analyze campaign promises, scrutinize manifestos, and we'll bring you in-depth coverage in 7 major local languages. Most importantly, we'll give the people the voice.
In 2026, like we are 1994.
Because this election is all about the Zambian citizen. And when the votes begin to count, we'll be coming live from the Mlungushi International Conference Center, delivering verified, accurate, and up-to-the-minute results as they happen.
Stay tuned to PTV2, the home of breaking news.
Say hello to the new Blue Band with vanilla. Double the yum with classic Blue Band flavor and rich creamy vanilla taste. New Blue Band with vanilla, the taste you love plus vanilla. Now available in stores countrywide.
Nabadwa wamene muno munzi hapa nina 59 years. 59 years yumo hospital enze patali. So enzo tipasako bazimai wenangu wonongokera mulodi bana. Monga ine mu 1990 inapapira panjira pamene napapira penze pansanga. So mwana anabwera alasiwa na mauzu anapitira pamene ya. So hapa tionga government ilipo kuti awe batiyangana akoero batigwira na mpamvu awe choko maningi ku government tiwaperekelele ba HH bali pampanda.
308 maternity annexes built countrywide since 2021, but there's still more work to be done.
When women rise, Zambia rises. With unity, we will keep delivering and move Zambia forward together.
For decades, Zambia has searched for its promise. Through triumph, sacrifice, and difficult seasons. Many promised change, many spoke of hope, but the burden remained heavy. And then, a servant of the people stepped forward. Not perfect, not a magician, but a man willing to lead his people through the wilderness toward a better Zambia. Like Moses leading his people toward the promised land. The journey was never meant to be easy, because nations are not built overnight. They are built through faith, sacrifice, and perseverance. The work is not finished, but Zambia is moving forward.
On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove. Love in a pie.
No.
From the fields to the table, every bite it shows.
Me, I defected with the current combo.
Prime Mill Meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
The following is a political advert and does not reflect the views of Prime Television, but those of the content provider.
We will not rest until every Zambian family feels the benefit of this generational change.
Niwake mupando mulekerendi Azibanchito hakainde Niwake mupando mulekerendi Azibanchito hakainde Niwake mupando mulekerendi Azibanchito hakainde Niwake ntchito hakainde
Together, finally, Japamo. Isene pikatane, pikatane, yeah, yeah.
Oh, adi
Together, finally, Japamo. Isene pikatane, pikatane, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Niwake mupando mulekelendi aziba ntchito hakainde 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 Niwake mupando mulekelendi aziba ntchito hakainde
Can we do more? Yes, we can do more. The work continues. We want to rest even more.
Niwake mupando mulekelendi aziba ntchito hakainde Niwake mupando mulekelendi aziba ntchito hakainde
I'm just asking.
Hello, welcome, good morning. It's a bright, sunny morning. That's why I'm wearing these shades. I borrowed them in, by the way. My name is Catherine. Welcome to the Sunrise Breakfast Show. It's a beautiful Friday. You know, we're always excited and happy when it's Friday because we know the weekend is upon us. But also because we know we're going to rest for all the toil of the week, Monday to Friday. Sometimes it can get busy and we need that rest on a Saturday and a Sunday. I'm not alone. I'm with my beautiful colleague and my handsome colleague. Is that right to call someone handsome at work?
Yes.
Welcome, guys. It's so beautiful to have you on the show today.
It's always great to be here.
Yeah.
You know, I always say Friday is my favorite day
Yeah.
at work because I know
I
that
know you are already dressed up like you're going
Denim.
for something special.
Denim
on denim.
Shoe check.
I saw when I bumped into her, I said, okay,
she's rocking. The lady is ready to bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also like your top because it's like vintage-ish.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you so
very
much.
nice.
But much more my.
The shoe. Yeah, that's the one. That's shoeless. It can't go anywhere but your shoe.
Yeah, but good morning, viewers, and you're getting Friday vibes from the Sunrise Breakfast Show. We're looking forward to great times with you. We are excited. We are happy that we've done this week together, Monday, Wednesday, and today. You are the ones that is driving this conversation. So we are happy to be here.
Absolutely. And of course, we do have quite a number of things jam-packed for you on our Sunrise Breakfast Show today. The week has definitely been full of activity, but also, we are looking at some amazing activities and some sad events that happened throughout the entire week. And by sad, obviously, most of you know that there was some recorded cases of violence in Western Province, and it was really a sad sight to see. And we're hoping that as we are still counting down to the election or the polling or the poll day, we hope that we are not going to see any of such events.
Yeah, definitely. We are 6 days away from the general elections. Imagine we've been counting from 40-something, and I'm like, oh, time really flies by. So next week, Thursday, all of you must be ready with your voters' cards and your national registration cards to go and vote. But, of course, as we draw near, we don't want to expect it, but because of what's happening, what we saw with the violence, we just want to make a special appeal. But first, before we do that, we want to talk about what we saw. Kizito, what do you think about the pictures that you saw, especially those from Western Province, where we had the first day, I think it was on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, when we saw stone throwing between the UPND and the our PUP party. And then we also, before that, we saw the Livingston one where there was stoning of opposition because the main party didn't want them to witness the delivery of the ballot papers. And then we saw the tear gassing at a rally. What do you think about these events?
Yeah, Kathy, I must say that it's unfortunate to see some of these things happening. Save the consolation is that there are a pocket of conversations. It's not widespread in our country. It's not a picture in Shangombo. It's not a picture in Iluwingu. These are isolated incidences, and I regret that they are happening. But I'm also happy to report, on a positive side, that this is not happening countrywide, so that we don't make a molehill, and create a monster out of it, because then we would get all the cameras to focus on this particular unfortunate situations or incidences or unfolding activities. I want to look at Lusaka, where this has not happened. I want to look at Ndola, where this has not happened. I want to look at other places where this has not happened. Unfortunately, this happened, and this is what we want to condemn.
But I want to ask you, why do you think this is happening or it happened?
Okay, I will go into history. History informs a lot of activities. Funny enough, Mongo has been a place of various conversations. Not long ago, the current president was, charged for treason, on the same road, and of course later charges went this way, that way. It is the same Mongo. And today we see another leader in opposition also having issues in Mongo as well. 2 and 1 and 2 makes a case for us because, precedents were set, and we see a case again happening. For some reason, I am thinking that politically, Mongo is seemingly a swinging state, a country, or rather, if you like. So people realize that, I want to use words carefully, but there seem to be some political vibe, some strength that people realize, okay, this can only happen in Mongo, so we make it a stronghold. Okay, so it's a stronghold, yes, and I know UPND has had a lot of support in that area. Yeah, but this time I think they read wrong. And I've seen a number of people who have endorsed Mundwile from there. Aka, for instance, Akashambatua. You see, that is a founding father. In fact, the founder of MMD. This is a gentleman who found MMD alongside with his colleague. So he has a lot of following, he's brainy, and he's put his weight around Mundwile. And we saw also other people from Western Province. So I do see that Western Province has opened up for Mundwile. And I think this could have annoyed people in the UPND to say, look, people have come in our bedroom and they are dancing in our bedroom.
But should there even be phrases like bedroom?
Let's agree. Let's look at numbers and statistics and history. Kathy Roda, life, there are things that you do naturally, and there are places where you expect to be celebrated more than others. Even Jesus in his hometown, for instance, expected to be celebrated, he wasn't. So naturally, there are places that will be your strongholds. And these places must be protected, but they should not be protected with violence. What should happen is that UPND should have taken development to Western Province. They should have taken development to Mongo, okay? I was in Mongo just not long ago for the Kuomboka ceremony, Yes, there are pockets of development that have taken place, but among the two provinces in this country that have not been really attended to is Luapula and Western Province. When you begin to travel in these two places, even the infrastructure, they leave much to be desired. So these people, may feel left out. But I think that UPND should have gone back to their strongholds, repromise, reassure their people, than to resort to violence. Because, you see, tear gassing, we call it chemical warfare. It is very bad, especially for women, It is actually very bad because, that stuff will find anything watery and penetrate, and it can cause a lot of ill health, And when people are trying to run, we are civilians. So when you're trying to run, you run in all directions, So the panic does more than even the tear gas, So you find, this happening. And it's unfortunate, but what we do know is the president now must come on record. When he was in opposition, he condemned violence, and we trusted him that his reign would be very different. But what we've seen in the recent past, especially within the party, has shown that perhaps the president said what he didn't understand. That now, because I've seen some cadres even telling the president, cadres, boss him, stop us from doing what you want to do. We voted for you. We've already given you power. So it's like the cadres for some reason want to hold the president at ransom. And because we're going to elections, the president may be a bit soft because he wants to win. But naturally, I know he doesn't like violence. I've seen all his campaign is dancing. Literally, he's dancing. I think his biggest message is dancing. He's showing I'm a happy fellow. But I think that at the expense of the people, it is good to lose an election than to lose the people.
True.
And also, maybe just to be particular about it or to be specific, I like the fact that Kizito said we shouldn't generalize this. We need to point out where this violence is happening, and this was in Wampa district, if I'm not mistaken. And for people that missed out on the stories, around our news, which of course has become one of the defining moments of the final week of Zambia's election period. And reports did indicate that his convoy was allegedly blocked and attacked with stones by some suspected ruling party supporters, leading to clashes, while police also, came under scrutiny over the handling of subsequent events. And, we also did see after that the president publicly condemned political violence and reiterated that all parties have the right to campaign anywhere in the country. And some people, came forth and said what the president said is not enough. He needs to do more in condemning this issue because mayors speaking or posting on social media does not do anything at all. But also, we also need to put it out there that the Electoral Commission's, campaign period did give every registered political party and candidates the constitutional right to campaign throughout the country. So if any anyone blocks, opponents from entering a district or a province, it also undermines, political competitions and citizens' right to hear different viewpoints before voting. And people were questioning, the ECZ to say, what are you going to do about this now that you are seeing that other people are being blocked from, exercising their right of campaigning in at that given period? Because we know that they were given timetables of where they can campaign at this particular period. So the incident also, suggests that some supporters view certain provinces as political strongholds, like Kizito says, where opponents are unwelcome, as we know that Western Province is a stronghold for the United Party for National Development. But, even though it's a stronghold, these are things that we're not supposed to see. It could be a stronghold, but there's a certain way that you handle issues, not really political violence. And also, it was sad to see that there was a police officer that was stoned, and it was a very sad picture to see that was circulating on social media. And now we were asking questions to say, is police, capable in terms of such events? Are they able to handle like political violence, or to put, citizens or these people that are fighting in their place, especially with what we saw? People were also stoning the police, things like that. But also those are conversations that I think we'll be having as we get into the election week, to bring the police on set, to ask them to say, how prepared are you, to handle such incidents in case there will be any cases of violence that will arise? How prepared are you? And, is your team ready to handle such incidents?
Well, to be honest, people are really asking that question to the police. How prepared are you? Because, when we saw the confusion that happened in Western Province, we saw that it was the police that went to fire tear gas. It was the police that went to disperse this crowd that had every right to assemble and have that, rally. And we also hear that in Chingola, police stopped Kalaba from holding his rallies. And they asked him to move from one point to the next. And every time he goes to the next point, they said, you cannot have this rally. So we are now dealing not only with cadres, but with also police who seem not to understand that there is a constitutional right for these leaders to hold their rallies, especially that it's a final week. They want to really get that message across. If the voters, their supporters didn't get the message, this is the week. And everyone is excited. So we haven't seen any stoppage of the president's rallies. He's also a political party. He holds a political party, the PND. Besides the fact that they are in power, why are they not being stopped when they are holding the rally? So we can we now say that the playing field is not leveled?
Kathy, we see politics. It's like it's a shrewd game, okay. And when we talk about shrewd, you are talking about clever, swift, and cunning. So you have to do anything possible to win elections, and this does not just happen in Zambia. All around the world, when it's campaign period, there's a lot of dribbling, because you see, for you to go past your enemy, you must think, you must dribble, you must do everything to get your ball to the next person so that you score.
I think that in principle, that is understood. But when it comes to reality, it has consequences.
But I am not looking at it from the negative realm. I'm just saying that you must within civility, within humanity, within divinity, there must be a way to dribble. Okay, there must be a way to get the ball from your friend. But this must be done legitimately. Okay? So yes, there will be places that will be strongholds. But how do you secure a stronghold? You secure a stronghold by being connected to the people on the grassroots.
I get you.
But by delivering to the people what you promised. For you, PND, now, the question is, did you deliver to the people what you promised them? Can you go back to them without throwing stones, by throwing back promises at them and say, we told you we'll give you an egg. Did we deliver? We told you we'll bring vegetables. Did we deliver? We told you that we'll bring education. We told you we'll employ people. We told you we'll do this. This is their benchmark. This becomes their baseline.
Yeah.
So remember, PF once coined a concept which they said sonta, sontology. In other words, they were trying to outwit everyone else to say, look, we have delivered, And I do think that UPND has done a great job. I will tell you, not long ago, I was interviewing the NAPSA PR, Corporate Affairs Manager, and you were saying now, because of these reforms, NAPSA will be able to do a lot of things. Now even people in diaspora can be covered under NAPSA. You are working in the UK, you are working in Australia, but you have been covered back home, because of new legislation. Now, you can do much more because of these new laws. Now, free education, those are things to talk about. How many people have been employed? Those are things to talk about. How many teachers? Those are things to talk about. So instead of throwing stones, throw the success stories in the people's faces. What I do see is that UPND has not been very strong in terms of communication. They are responding to social media. They are responding to Emmanuel Mwamba. He's put them on the edge. What they should do is go in the rural areas. Go where transformation has taken place. Show us the roads you have done.
Yeah.
Show us what you've done. Show us the impact.
Yeah.
That is what we want to see. That is what we want to hear. But you see, largely when they go even on the platform, they want to talk about Mundubire. Mundubire for what?
Yeah. And I think also just to add on that, where we're coming from, when we started this countdown, there would be statements in the newspaper, or people would go, the UPND representatives or people would go on interviews and say, this is going to be a walkover, there's no opposition.
Yes.
But now as we head towards the election, it's like the atmosphere is changing. And this is why you see a lot of such things happening. And now you'd ask yourself to say, if this is really going to be a walkover, why are you blocking the opposition from campaigning freely? Because when you say it's going to be a walkover, then even if the opposition campaigns, there's no difference that it's going to make. So we see it becoming intense, and we see the atmosphere changing. These interviews are now changing. The answering of questions, they are changing. Because where we're coming from now, they were very confident. I think on this program we've counted from 40-something days, and you obviously can see that the message has really changed.
No need for you to fear, because you have an obligation to go and cast your vote. Well, I know that we still have time, but tell us what it is that we are still yet to expect here on the show.
Oh yes, a day ago, basically we did have a guest that told us don't give up, and the conversations were very, very, very deep.
This has been the message of the week, right?
Yes, it is.
Really?
I walk in the studio and say, don't give up.
Oh, wow, I missed. I need to watch that.
No, we had a prison warden, and he talked about his small beginnings from Mporokoso Kaputa there in the villages, and he says, look, it took me a lot. I had to walk so many times, sometimes without shoes, without food, to just go get educated. Now I speak to people in prison to say, hey, don't give up. I speak to different people, don't give up. And in the studio also, we are going to be joined by a lawyer who was admitted to the bar yesterday. It was not her first attempt. She did, and she did not go through. She didn't give up. And now yesterday, the day before, yesterday, she was admitted to the bar.
Wow.
And that is ironic. It's a success story, and it's a lady, So we want to bring her in and just talk to the people how what she went through. She did not give up. And I know some of you, there are some of you who just want to give up at the slightest.
Yeah, we like that advice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The thing is that we all have so many dreams, and sometimes we feel like they're so out of reach. And when you try and fail maybe 2 times, 3 times, you're like, oh, this is not what I'm supposed to do. So I'm sure that will be a story to watch out for.
Yes,
absolutely. All right. As for me on the side, I think it's best we go into our Friday health segment, where we tell people, matters of health, especially that it's a Friday.
Yeah.
I know for a lot of people it's cheat day, people that are on diets, doing their gym thingy.
What's that cheat day?
Where you get to eat whatever meal that you want.
Okay.
You don't care about the calories or whatever.
But
But
not
yeah,
counting them.
we'll get into that one day when we become, you know, gym girlies. Oh, you are a gym girly. How is that going? by the
Oh
way?
my God, don't ask.
You stop seeing.
Well, you know, sometimes the body says, no, I don't
You-
want to go
you
to
gave
the
up,
gym.
you gave up the body.
Yeah, but I'm pushing it. I'm saying you've
Don't
got to
give
go.
up.
Yeah,
Don't
don't.
give up.
Don't give up.
Right, let's not give up today, and let's get into our health segment for today, where I'll just give you some health tips as we get into the weekend, because I know you want to relax and you probably forget about the important things of health. But the first thing that I'll talk about is that it's very important this weekend that you stay hydrated. Ask yourself, are you drinking enough water? The signs of dehydration will come in if you're not drinking enough water, and that is fatigue, headaches, and dark urine. You need to also monitor what color your urine is to know if you're hydrated or dehydrated. How much water most adults need. Food that also help with hydration, like watermelons, cucumbers. You know, you have to also incorporate that in your diet. You also need to you know, make up some sort of healthy weekend eating. Avoid skipping breakfast. Balance your plate with vegetables, protein, whole grains, and fruits. Enjoy treats in moderation instead of overindulging. You also need to sleep, you know. Adults should aim to at least sleep for 7 to 9 hours every day. Good sleep supports immunity, mood, and concentration. Avoid screens for about an hour before bedtime. You know, we all want to see what's trending before we go to sleep, because there might just be some breaking news that you might miss on, but you still catch up in the morning. Also, move your body. You don't need a gym. We spoke about the importance of walking with Kizito the other day. 30 minutes of brisk walking, dancing, or gardening, or just doing some house chores. You know, that movement will definitely help you. Regular movement supports heart health and mental well-being. Mental health check is also very important. Take a break from work stress, spend time with loved ones, practice gratitude or mindfulness, reach out, you know, if you're feeling overwhelmed, to a loved one, a friend, or anybody that you trust. Limit your sugar and salt. Too much sugar can contribute to weight gain and diabetes. Excess salt can raise blood pressure. You know, test food before adding extra salt.
Yeah, I know.
Boost your immune system naturally. Eat a variety of fruits and vegetables. Stay physically active. Get enough sleep. Wash your hands on a regular basis to reduce the spread of infections. Also, protect your heart. When we say protect your heart, we're not just talking about heartbreaks, you know, issues of heartbreaks, but eat more fiber-rich foods. Avoid smoking. Also, limit your intake of alcohol. Know your blood pressure and learn that. We can do that at home as well. If you don't, maybe just you know, check it up. Then you can start doing your regular breast self-awareness and routine health checkups. Don't ignore persistent changes in your body. Healthy eyes in the digital age. Follow the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something about 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Reduce screen glare and blink often to prevent dry eyes. So now, as we head into the weekend, remember that good health doesn't require expensive habits. Drink enough water, include fruits and vegetables in your meals, move your body at least 30 minutes, and make time to rest. Your body and mind need recovery just as much as they need activity. Small, consistent, healthy choices can make a big difference over time. So those are some of the health tips for today.
You know, I like the one about blinking often and looking away at an object maybe far away from you. I think that is something I don't think I do. And I feel like it's something we should do, because we're always like this and, you know, on our laptops. And so our eyes are really becoming something else. And you also taught us just now that, you know, make it an hour, looking at your phone, be an hour before going to bed. Well, do you do that?
It's actually so telling, you know, because you see the amount of you know, light coming from this is too much. Yeah, either from the phones, and you know, they are very close. We normally put them close and on full conversation as you're doing that. TVs, laptops, even just in a room where there's a TV, some people would rather, you're better off doing radio, you're listening, than light, you know. It's got a terrible effect. But I remember one time being privileged, having gone to Mfue, where Wakaunda used to go. You remember Mfue? So the first thing they did was to get the phones from us, and for 4 or 5 days, we had no contacts with phones. There's no TV in there. It's animals, humans. So sometimes your interaction, if sometimes we think we're doing well, but we're not interacting at human level. You see, there is something that rubs on you when you interact with human beings. You come back in a space, you are more productive. But this has a way of, let me say in a disco, you go and the lights can amplify you, so they normally make sure that you become hyper with light, so when you want to sleep, you want to shut down some of the activities so that you can then rest properly. You wake up, you are strong, you are refocused. But for some people, it is because of lack of sleep that is why productivity cannot be enhanced. So we do well. And when you wake up, I think as attributed by the experts, is don't rush to the phone right away. Have human interactions. And this is what they'll not respond very well because Derek,
Okay, well, that is health tips, and I know that you learn a lot from what Rhoda gives us. It's a good reminder of some of the things that we really just easily take for granted. So thank you, Rhoda, for those tips.
I'm just not sure if Rhoda stays away from the phone.
I do. I actually do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I put it on do not.
Morning. It started getting warmer in the mornings. So let's see what the weather has for us today. On the other side, we join us for an interview.
Say hello to the new Blue Band with vanilla. Double the yum with classic Blue Band flavor and rich creamy vanilla taste. New Blue Band with vanilla, the taste you love plus vanilla. Now available in stores countrywide.
From the heart of Africa to the world, we bring you the stories, voices, and development shaping the continent. Stay informed with the in-depth reports, current affairs, politics, business, culture, and major headlines across Africa. Africa in Perspective News every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 15:30 hours, only on PTV2 Zambia, the home of breaking news 24/7.
Good morning once again. It's, Kizito on the Sunrise Breakfast Show yet again. And this week has been power-packed with a lot of conversations. And one of the conversations that we've had this week is don't give up. I think last Wednesday, basically this Wednesday, we had this particular author telling us about don't give up. So it's a week that has seen us talk about resilience, the ability to push back, and just to go through things in life and know that life will not always be easy, kind. Sometimes we go through things that will leave you bruised, and you have to encourage yourself and do it again. The Bible says, and David encouraged himself in the Lord. So sometimes there are those moments when you just have to say, hey, let me encourage myself. And we conclude this week on a triumphant note and on a good note. We did tell you that we are bringing a special guest, a counsel who was, taken to the bar a day or so ago. And we want to get her story. Her name is Esther Perry, and she's joined by her mother in the studio. What a family moment. Amanda Perry as well, and of course they both come from the province somewhere, which I don't want to mention because I might go into. Yes, so Council, welcome to Prime TV.
Thank you so much.
And Ma'am Amai Perry Mulibwanji. Thank you so much. Thank you. Of course, what you see is a special family here in a mode of celebration, but the celebration is bigger than just celebrating what happened yesterday. It is moments, and it's a journey together, a journey that has seen trying moments, happy moments. And I just want to, help you go through these moments with Council. Council, to start with, congratulations. And it is rare for ladies to push back like you've done, and to be admitted to the bar is not a joke. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And how did it feel?
It was exciting. Finally, the moment came. So very, very excited about it.
Okay. Did you see it coming, or you thought, will it happen again? Will it happen? Should I give up? Did you see it coming?
Okay. For me, it was like it was supposed to just come because I had fought for a long time. So I was like, it has to just be it. The moment had to be it. So, and I thank God that it came through. Yes. Okay. Yes.
I like the way you're using fight. You fought. It wasn't easy, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't easy.
Okay, I'll come to the intricate and to your background. Let me speak to my mom. Welcome to to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, just describe what has it been to have her as a child from childhood. What are some of the memories that you remember that could probably even speak to what she's doing today?
Yeah, the basic memory that I start from is when she finished her grade 12. Then I advised her to say, okay, I think choose a profession of your choice. Yes, so then she chose 3 careers, which was accounting, then she wanted to do procurement, human resource, and law. Then I sat her down to say, okay, of the 3 now, tell me which one. Then she said, Mom, I have to do law. Then I said, oh, it's a long journey. So in your life, I will not allow you to back out. So it's your decision, and you have to keep pushing.
Wow.
So and there it was. So I remember the time she started at NIBA, she went to ZIGAS, and finally she started SARS yearly.
Wow. First of all, I love the fact that you said choose, and when you choose, you are stuck. Don't give up. So already you locked her in a realm where she was not supposed to give up. What's your profession yourself?
I'm an accountant.
Okay.
By profession.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it's running in the blood. The education is running in the blood. It's just osmosis.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And before I come to her, how do you describe her childhood growing up?
She coming from a family of, I think, a single mother, like their dad passed on. So, and being a last born,
wow,
Yes, so she has been very close to me because for her to leave my bedroom, it took years. So we've been so close. I remember when he said, leave my bedroom, she used to refuse to say, no, who want to come in this bedroom? Yes, so we've been close. I think she would, and I think I also thank the primary, even the secondary schools, I think by choice, or by the grace of God, because I think she went to those schools. Like for the nursery, I think it was at a church. Yes, that's El Shaddai Church, I think at Ebenezer Church.
Okay, that's in
Yeah,
Kawe.
so, yeah, that's in Kawe. Then I think she did up to primary.
Okay.
Grade 7. And from there she moved to a Catholic secondary school also in Kawe. I think up to grade 12.
Okay.
So I think there was also some basic foundation there in those places, yes.
Okay. So there was a strong also God factor in her
Yes,
growing up.
yes.
Okay, all right, okay. Council, back to you. You now choose your journey, your career path. It's slow, and Mommy says, don't give up. Go in, go and do it. Tell me about your journey as a lawyer.
Okay. Well, I starting as a student. Obviously, it's new, so I had to learn, interact with other people, and then as you proceed in the journey, like as I was moving from one, because I started first with a diploma. Yes. So when I finished that, passed, then went to, that was at NIPA. Then I went to ZCAS. Also, the same, just interacting, getting acquainted to the courses that were there, interacting with also fellow students at the time. And then, by the grace of God, also cleared, passed that level, and now went to Ziale. And it's the same cycle. So I feel like it's one of the things, the process has really taught me a lot. And I wouldn't take it for granted, because I feel like it's going to it's brought me to where I am now.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. When you finished at NEPA, did you go into practice, or you went straight? You continued with school?
No, I went straight into school, because with law, you don't enter into practice when you just do your diploma. Yeah, it's when you are now admitted at the bar, that's when you start practicing as a lawyer.
Okay.
So at the moment, that was like my first step from grade 12. I went to do a diploma at the time, because they were still offering that.
Okay.
Yeah, until I did all that process, and now got to the bar.
Okay. So is this your first attempt to the bar?
No.
Tell us.
Yeah, I started my Ziale in 2020. That was, 2020, summer COVID time.
Yes.
Yes, that's when I started.
And this is 2026?
Yes.
Okay.
I said 2020. So that's why I said it took a lot of fighting and a long journey. Yes. So from there, I've been, you clear, you have some leftovers, you go back until you keep pushing until you just say, okay, I started this and I need to finish this journey.
Wow.
Yes. So that's how I've been doing this thing.
Okay. I know when you went to Ziale, there was a lot of conversations. Even in the newspaper, we said Ziale is difficult. People have been talking Ziale. Sometimes we hear that it's only 4 people who have made it. So that when you are going there, just the attempt, just a first try, and you're going the exam, how was it?
Okay, so the first time, when something is new, you're still trying to figure out how am I going to navigate Ziale. So at first you're getting to know, you're thinking, maybe this is doable, I think I can clear. You think you can do it on the first. Everyone has that hope of, I can make it at the first attempt. And it's possible. We've seen many do that. So it's not to say that you can't do it, but it also has to do with when the results come out and you don't see what you expected, it's not to give up. Yeah, so that's how I was. When my results came out, obviously I was disappointed, but I was like, we still have some more work to do. And that's what I told myself, and I continued pushing.
So how many subjects did you clear in the first attempt?
I didn't clear any subjects.
Wow, that's the first attempt.
Yes.
And ma'am, what was your reaction? When she comes and she says, hey, the money has gone.
Of course, because I came through another route, which I used also have those challenges. Yes, so when I was doing my SCC, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think those things also, we had those experiences. So I just used to encourage her to say, no, just what's the whole procedure? If there's room for rewriting, just continue.
Wow.
Yeah, just continue. So you just look for money and start paying until you start afresh.
And how was it easy to look for money to go to the next level? First, you need hope, you need money, you need time, you know, and adjustment to say, okay, it will happen again.
On the money part, it's just God. Think through her, I would say it like that. And I thank God that she was always supportive.
Wow.
Yes, because immediately I just say, okay, anyway, this is what's required. And, you know, I think she saw that I was very determined. So she said, okay, I think she would invest in me. So with the money, I'll just tell her, say, this is what happened, but I still want to go and
my roomie. I want to go back to...
Yes, so I would just inform her and she would say, God will provide.
Wow.
And that's how she's brought me up anyway, to just see God as the one who's the provider. Yes, obviously I will tell her, but we know the provider is.
Yes. And ma'am, we are on set, and this is a situation. We are speaking to families, we are speaking to people, we are speaking to mother and daughter, mother and son who are fighting right now because maybe a son did not clear, or maybe something happened, maybe a son broke down, maybe a son wants to give up, you know. And look at the words, the encouragement, the pillar you became to her. What's your words to another child, another parent?
And my word is for supporting each other. Yes, because I think this God who gives whatever you've decided is the idea of God, then I'm sure you need to continue. So even it's not only for young ones, even for us parents. Yeah, because even as a parent, you must have also a direction. Yeah, so I think for me, it's the experiences that I also passed through. Yeah, so I kept on pushing. I pushed, you can imagine, yeah, I graduated for SCCA and I was 50 years. So, so you see, so Nandiha is just below 30. So I told her, no, just keep on pushing.
Yes, you have 20 years to try.
Yes, you keep on pushing. It's me, I pushed. Yes, so I think we need to support our children. Yes, because I think there's no person who can't make it in life. We are all destined to make it according to the God's plan, but sometimes we don't see the long term. We see the easiest time to say, okay, I want to do it now. But God said most of the time, maybe He has got another plan for you to say you can only achieve this with patience. Yes.
Wow. Thank you. In case you are just, tuned in to our station, PV2, you are watching Sunrise Breakfast Show, where we bring you real conversations, stories that matter, stories that are taking place, and stories that you want to, cover because of stigma, because of pressure, because of the publics. You want to run away. But here today we are in the studio with, Council, who just admitted to the bar, and she is babbling with confidence, having gone through a lot of things, having a supportive mother, having lost the dad at a very tender age. But all these have not scarred her, all these have not discouraged her. Even the first attempt, even though she cleared, zero in the first, she still pushed. In the second year of attempt, what happened?
Okay, so second year, I managed to clear some heads, we call them heads. So there's a standard in terms of how much you're supposed to clear for you to progress to the remaining, if you still have some remaining heads. Yeah, so I managed to clear the stipulated number of heads, and then I managed to now go to the.
Okay, so now in the next 2-3 years, you kept on pushing and pushing. Tell us briefly.
So then just wait. They will announce the repeaters exams, and then you just maybe you have maybe at the time I had 5 remaining, so I would go back, sit in. When the results come out, you see maybe you just clear 3, remain with 2, so you go back again. Yes.
And so in terms of money, how much have you spent to reach to the place where you're admitted to the bar?
Honestly, I don't know. Because obviously it's a lot. I just can't say how much it is in total, but it's a lot of money.
Wow,
Yes.
wow. And how much is it in terms of hope, in terms of trying again, in terms of not giving up?
Okay, if the hope like to others or
Yes, even for you.
okay, for me, I felt like if I pass these, then I can still pass these ones which have remained. So I was like, doesn't mean that I still push myself because it showed that I was able to pass. It would have been difficult if I was always failing and like failing everything, but just showed that I was still in need to learn more about the Rwanda I didn't clear, and I need to maybe find another strategy of how I'm going to handle the remaining heads for me to clear them. So that's how I was always thinking about it, to say, okay, what made me fail this?
Wow.
And what am I going to do?
Wow.
Do I need to ask more? Do I need to involve more myself in, maybe I research more, read more, whatever it is that I need to do for me to understand and pass. So that was my hope.
Yes.
Yes.
And finally, the day came, it was announced, you have cleared and this step now.
Yeah.
What is your word?
Okay, so now being close to the bar, though it was just a day ago, there's a lot of emotions, excitement especially, and a lot of gratitude, especially to God, the resilience that He's given me, the family, the support. I am extremely grateful. Yes, I don't even know if there's a word I can use beyond that, because it's long awaited, but I don't take for granted the process, because it's really taught me a lot.
You respect the process. Ma'am, we're getting conclude. Your final words to the people who are watching, to the people who have supported you and the council throughout life, especially that you lost, your beloved husband quite early, because I'm almost thinking it's almost 30 years ago, isn't it, if I'm not mistaken?
26.
Oh, 26, okay. Yeah, almost, that's quite a long time. What would you like to say to the viewers?
Yes, I just want to say that let them trust God, because there's no status for a person, whether orphan, married, or rich, what God can't do. As long as God is with you, all things are possible. So sometimes people lose it because of their status. They think, no, me, I come from a poor family, me, I can't manage, me, I don't have money. But I'm sure with God, when He is in it, if He has given you an idea, and even if you don't have money, or you don't think, you can't see the way forward, but when God is with you, He will supply.
Thank you, Mom. And Council, back to you. You did not give up. Now you have achieved it. We'll soon be seeing you in a big range, because I see lawyers love my Range Rovers and your house and your what. It's a good moment. But what's your last words to the people? And I know that you are a young girl. You now need to go back to your life, pick up and also socialize, because you've just been in books. What's your last words?
Okay, my last word is have a purpose, because of course that's part of my dream, and thank God it came to pass. But have a purpose, or ask God for the purpose that He has for you, because there's a lot that God has assigned for myself, I know, and I'm going to seek more guidance on what to do next.
Okay.
Yes, and then the other part would be being young. but also be responsible. And just be friendly, be happy, be kind, all those things. Whatever God has, and it will unfold itself.
Councillor, thank you so much for coming. Congratulations once again. We're glad to have hosted you, Ma'am. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right, so you've been watching Sunrise Breakfast Show, and that has been Councillor Esther Piri telling us, hold on, fight until it happens. I'm glad I have a lawyer, so in case I do something, in case I step on your toys, just know that, I'm protected. And Prime TV 2 is protected, Rhoda and Kathy. So we go for a break, and when we come back, we have more guests.
The following is a political advert and does not reflect the views of Prime Television, but those of the content provider.
We will not rest until every Zambian family feels the benefit of this generational change.
Niwake mupando mulekelendi Azibanchito hakainde 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 Together, twanele japapo Isene pikatane, yeah, yeah. Oh, together, twanele japapo Isene pikatane, yeah, yeah. Niwake mupando mulekelendi Azibanchito hakainde 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 Niwake mupando mulekelendi Azibanchito hakainde
Can we do more? Yes, we can do more. The work continues. We want to rest even more.
Niwake mupando mulekelendi Azibanchito hakainde Niwake mupando mulekelendi Azibanchito hakainde
right, you're still watching the Sunrise Breakfast Show right here on PTV2. What an amazing interview with Kizito and Esther, just reminding us how important education is. Now, you know, as higher education continues to evolve, employers are actually looking beyond academic qualifications. They are seeking graduates who possess practical competencies, industry experience, and of course, the ability to solve real-world challenges. The Information and Communications University is among the leading private universities in the country that has embraced this vision through its flagship initiative known as Beyond the Classroom, a transformative program that places students in real working environments where they gain practical experience, develop industry-ready skills, and graduate with the confidence to compete both locally and internationally. Now, to help us understand more about Beyond the Classroom initiative, we're joined by Mr. Cheswa Kasa. He's among those coordinating the program, and we're also being joined by Mishek Mfune, a fourth-year student of journalism at the university. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to our Sunrise Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Rhoda. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Happy to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. It's good to have you on our set today.
Happy to be here.
And good morning to you, Mishek.
Good morning. Thank you, Rhoda.
All right. Now, we have been hearing a lot about the Beyond the Classroom program. For those hearing about it for the very first time, what exactly is Beyond the Classroom, Mr. Kapasa?
Thank you, Rhoda. Beyond the Classroom is the Information and Communications University's flagship practical learning program that is placing students outside the classroom. We are spending much time learning outside than we are spending learning inside the classroom. So this is experiential learning that is going beyond the Agriculture Center in Chongwe. We've got students that go into these agricultural farms and do actual cattle production, actual pig production, actual producing actual agricultural products. And learning has never gotten even better when you take students within the field that they love so much. If you are in the field of mining, artisanal mining is one of the courses, for instance, that we've been speaking about for the longest of time. Students do the actual mineral identification. They learn how to process minerals and so on. So you can see that much of the work is out there in the field, and we do not wait for students to get into their last year of industrial attachment. We begin the very first year when they get to the Information and Communications University. So pretty much that's how I could describe Beyond the Classroom.
Nice. Now, Mishek, as a student, how are you finding learning in real environments? How has it been, you know, from the beginning of your enrollment?
Learning from the very first year up to where I am has been an interesting experience. Just as Mr. Kapasa has highlighted, it's more to do with what you bring to the table of a particular profession that you've chosen to embark on. For myself, I'm in the media, so just walking away from the corridors of the Information and Communications University is not enough. But the big question is, do I actually possess what a Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication entails? Am I able to speak in front of the camera? If I'm not camera interested, am I able to write? Am I able to communicate? Because communication is a wide range of facets. So what do I really bring to the table? So actually, the Beyond the Classroom is seeing to it that you're not just in the lecture hall, you're not just learning basic news writing and reporting, you're actually doing it. Where you get to experience the newsroom, Rhoda, as you know, it's very, very demanding. Every morning you have to present your news diary sessions and you have to go, actually, especially now that the country is preparing for the pause next week, Thursday. What are you doing as a student? Because it's not just about, you, like a character, you are acting to say, no, I'm a journalist by profession, whereby character, lights, action, on, off, it's a lifestyle. You are living as a journalist. You are on a bus going to town. You are picking news stories. What is happening around you? So it's been an interesting journey, actually. to learn that there is more to journalism than what meets the eye. A lot of people out there, even the ones that are watching me right now, just feel like journalism is about vice president this, vice president that. But there is actually a lot of people just behind the scenes seeing to it that this breakfast show is airing. So it's been interesting.
And considering the fact that you're studying journalism, how different has learning, been for you, considering the establishment of your student TV channel? Just, give us the picture of what your learning is like.
One thing that I can say about the Information and Communications University Television, ICU TV, is it is a platform where I'm serving as a producer. I produce the breakfast show.
Okay.
I guide certain things. I'm a news anchor, I'm a presenter, and I'm sure you are well aware that I was in Ghana just the other month, where I had an opportunity to report and interact on a continental level with regards to the Youth on Sustainable Development Summit in Accra. It was a milestone for me. This is what the Information and Communications Beyond the Classroom initiative is doing. And maybe someone might ask, say, is it just for the journalists? No, we have a lot going on. We have the agriculture, we have the architects. A list is endless. And just being able to also participate in what other schools are doing and just seeing to it that their stories are successfully told. Of course, using the ICU TV.
Okay. Now, Chiswa, what makes Beyond the Classroom different from the traditional industrial attachment that many universities offer? Because people might be thinking, this is just the same as, we've had all these years.
Well, it's a very unique perspective that we are taking as the Information and Communications University, because when you begin, and I'll give an example of mass communication, journalism and mass communication. When you start your journalism and mass communication in your first year, we want to start building onto your skills in a real newsroom setup through the ICU TV channel that we've developed. It's a student TV channel where students will be attached to it. They will present news ideas in an actual newsroom setup. We will help them learn how to read the news in their first year. So it's very different from the traditional industrial attachment, because in your first year, you can imagine how much, you and I have done our journalism and mass communication, and we haven't really had the experience to learn how to present actual news ideas, to interact with sources in your first year. Much of the things that we learned in the past that you learn things like media ethics and theory and so on. Those are important, but the practical element beginning in the very first year is what's important. So imagine students learning how to operate cameras in the very first year. The channel gives them the opportunity to report on actual news stories, to interact with the police, to interact with ministers, to interact with members of parliament. How do they begin to find sources? How do they begin to find or to communicate or to interview or to conduct interviews, how to conduct tough interviews, how to conduct yourself around tough guests, how to investigate? Those things happen within the first year. And it's very different, because when you go to industrial attachment is when you begin to, for the other traditional, I would call them other universities, will obviously place it on just industrial attachment is enough. We're saying it's not enough. We are saying that it must begin from the very first year. You must begin to interact with the realities of the profession of journalism. For example, we've got our student who is in Lagos, Nigeria at the moment. He is presenting a research paper on cybersecurity and information in forensics. That's a course that also, for those that are interested in cybersecurity and so on, can be interested. And one of our colleagues, your colleagues here, Prime TV, was just asking about that course. Yeah. He is in Lagos, Nigeria at the Deep Learning Indaba 2026, where he's presenting a research on some of the things that we can do as Africans in terms of how do we own our own machinery, how do we own our own compute infrastructure. Look at the use of AI. How does Africa also begin to produce its own, computing infrastructure? This is just not learning on paper. He is there to present the research amongst other global world leaders from China, Europe, America, you name it. So it's pretty much a very different experience when you talk about experiential learning, and pretty much that's what I can say about it.
Interesting. And for parents and prospective students watching today, why should they choose ICU, and what message would you like to leave with them? this morning?
The perhaps you would like to go first?
Sure. And for those that are watching, ICU is a conducive environment. It has flexible learning in case you are already in the field and you don't have the paper. Feel free to visit us. We are on social media. We are literally everywhere. It is a great platform that is going to see to it that your dream profession, your dream career in any school is brought to manifestation.
Okay.
Well, I could say that one of the reasons why you must, for prospective students, parents, this is an incredible opportunity, because when your child visits a university like the Information and Communications University, they will be placed in a real working environment, real learning environments. One of our students in media, Deborah Gamani, produced one of the most incredible results, performing and going to do an actual report at the Investing in Africa Mining. It should have been early this year, I think, and she met President Hakainde Hichilema interacting with real sources. It wasn't on paper. She was doing the actual reporting outside the Cape Town International Convention Center. We were in Ghana, in Accra, and Ishak is right here. Yeah. He's telling us how it was very experiential, learning and reporting at a global stage. And these are international events. Learning how to interact with the international community, learning how to interact with diplomats, presidents, and so on. Locally, how are they learning how to interact with presidential candidates for the 13th of August? How are they learning how to deal with issues around misinformation and disinformation? You've got Trust Mahao, is a fourth-year student that I talked about in Lagos, Nigeria, learning again on an international platform. You've got Favor Moyo, who just traveled to Ethiopia. She's right here in the back. She was reporting at the World Public Summit. Again, learning that we are actually giving to the students an opportunity for exposure. Sometimes when you go out of the country or when you interact with real people, it gives you the opportunity to actually feel the impact. When you get on that flight, or when you're interacting with the police, or when you get to the crime scene, or you get to whatever situation that presents that is presented at you, you get to have hands-on. And this is what makes ourselves unique. So if you want to be like a Rhoda, you want to be like a Posh Ngongo, you want to be a hard interviewer, this is the real experience that we are giving our students. In fact,
basically producing students who are ready to work
absolutely.
hands-on.
We have students that are working for the World Bank. We have students that have performed exceptionally well working for the Bank of Zambia. We have students who are working for big organizations. Recently, we just handed over a software that our students produced under the Information Security Forensics Department, producing a software that is able to track your phone. Rather, if you lose your phone right now, I can tell you that our students are able to track where your phone is. And the Zambia Police is using these systems. So imagine coming to a university that is able to contribute to the country's national cake, contribute to the social and economic transformation of the country. For us, that's what we call real learning.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming through to our Sunrise Breakfast show this morning, and of course for sharing these valuable insights.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having
honored to be here.
All right, so obviously it is very encouraging to see the Information and Communications University taking practical steps to ensure students graduate not only with knowledge, but with the competences and experience needed in today's dynamic world. We do continue with our Sunrise Breakfast show. For now, we take a short break.
Nabadwa wamene muno munzi apa nina 59 years. 59 years yumo hospital enze patali so enzo tipasako bazimayi benangu konongekera mulodi bana monga ine mu 1990 inapapira panjira pamene napapira penze pansanga so mwana anabwera alasiwa na mauzu anapitira pamene apa so apa tionga government ilipo kuti awe batyanganako ero batigwira na mpanvu awe tionga zikomo maningi ku government kuti baperekerere ba HH bali pampando.
308 maternity annexes built countrywide since 2021, but there's still more work to be done.
When women rise, Zambia rises. With unity, we will keep delivering and move Zambia forward together.
For decades, Zambia has searched for its promise. Through triumph, sacrifice, and difficult seasons. Many promised change. Many spoke of hope, but the burden remained heavy. And then, a servant of the people stepped forward. Not perfect, not a magician, but a man willing to lead his people through the wilderness toward a better Zambia. Like Moses leading his people toward the promised land. The journey was never meant to be easy, because nations are not built overnight. They are built through faith, sacrifice, and perseverance. The work is not finished, but Zambia is moving forward.
On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia.
Early in the morning, fire on the stove, love in a pie, that's the life we know. From the fields to the table, every bite it shows. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Primarily me, the taste of home. Mama in the kitchen, we never eat alone. Primarily me, the taste of home.
Prime Mill Meal, pure, proudly Zambian, the taste of home.
The following is a political advert and does not reflect the views of Prime Television, but those of the content provider.
We will not rest until every Zambian family feels the benefit of this generational change.
Niwake mupando mulekelendi Azibanchito hakainde Niwake mupando mulekelendi Azibanchito hakainde Niwake mupando mulekelendi Azibanchito hakainde Together, finally Japamo Isene pikatane, yeah, yeah. Oh, adi together, finally Japamo Isene pikatane, yeah, yeah, yeah. Niwake mupando mulekelendi Azibanchito hakainde Niwake mupando mulekeni 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 Azibanchito hakainde.
Can we do more? Yes, we can do more. The work continues. We want to rest even more.
Niwake mupando mulekeni Azibanchito hakainde Niwake mupando mulekeni.
The preceding content is a political advert and does not reflect the views of Prime Television, but those of the content providers.
Welcome back. You are watching the Sunrise Breakfast Show as we are in the dying minutes of the show, but we have Jeremiah coming on today to give us sports news. Right now, we just want to take a look at what the papers are saying this morning. And I must commend you guys for the great interviews that you've done. They are so motivating. And we should all be looking at not giving up. We should also be looking at advancing ourselves because it's never too late, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you heard what Chess was saying, that the ICU has a very good program where you're going to school, you're not just learning on paper, but you know, every single day you are taken to a studio, you know how to write scripts for a breakfast show, you know how to do news stories, not just, you know, when doing attachments, but that is what they are practically doing, and it's great to see such an initiative.
Great, yeah, building interest while you're there. You may give up on a course. Meanwhile, you find that when you get into the industry, as you're starting, it boosts your interest. Okay, so our first paper this morning that we look at is the Diggers, News Diggers, and we've got a headline saying, objection, UPND challenges Catholics call for candlelight prayer day. And IG orders probe into Mongo tear gas incident. Opposition attacking themselves to paint as black, Kawana, and sanction perpetrators of political violence, Lars urges ECZ.
I think that, let me start with the Kawana story. He says opposition is painting us black. I'm not sure our PS Kawana, you know.
I want to sit properly so I can listen to what you're saying.
Please do. I'm just wondering, you know, that statement, it requires to unpack, you know, in the sense that PS Kawana is a civil servant. So when he says us, he's already taken a position, he's already taken a party position. And I know that to a great extent, it's very difficult to divide the party and the technocrats. But you see, the technocrats must always remain, you know, balanced and sober, especially as we go towards the elections, you know. So when he says us, and he's also, you know, lumping himself in the political party, it's unfortunate. I think our PS is a man of high level caliber, but I think it is time to tone down. It's time to reflect and just realize that, look, I'm an expert, and there is life beyond this election. You know, what if things turn the other way? I do recall, Kathy, one time, I think it's the election of Michael Sata and Rupia Banda. The IG then made a statement and says, just after the elections, I will deal with you. It's telling, of course, the opposition. And unfortunately, MMD lost, and PF took over the corridors of power. And the first one to be fired, among the first, was the same IG. So sometimes it is very wise to take it easy when we are talking, because yes, we can call for non-violence, or we can say, look, I think the people who are doing this are ABCD based on intelligence, but to also say us, yes.
Yeah, and I think there's quite a number of things if this was when he was having that interview, you know, where he said these things, I think there's a lot of things that he said. And what really caught people's attention is that he claimed not to know what, you know, how to, the NRPUP, and he said napoop, napoop or something like that. And so he said quite a number of things, but to say that opposition attacking themselves paint as black, you know, from what we are seeing, it's not that the opposition are attacking themselves. We've also seen, you know, people from the other side that are actually attacking the opposition. And so I also see a headline that says, sanction perpetrators of political violence, Lars urges ECZ. It's good to see that such institutions as the Law Association of Zambia, you know, just calling on the ECZ to sanction perpetrators of political violence. And I hope that, you know, we get something out of this.
You know what, I also feel like what the UPND seems not to understand is they are agitating. the voters. Because if you see what happened in Mongo, for example, people were running and screaming out to say, we don't want this, we want change. Because why? They were tear gassed at a place where they just wanted to support their candidates. So those people, a lot of people were there. They have relatives who want to understand that this is just one of those things. Because they saw police there, they'll say it's government, it's UPND doing this. So in a way, disadvantaging themselves. So that's why I feel like they shouldn't refuse and say the blame is on the opposition, because right now the people's eyes are on them because we have police involved in this kind of things.
And also they are giving people, they are giving the opposition free publicity and sympathy. You know, people will have a lot of sympathy vote because they, people always gravitate towards weak people. So there will be a lot of sympathy vote, even though I think that UPND is quite very strong on the ground, but I think they are destroying much of what they have built by their action. They stand a chance to win an election. They stand a chance. I'm not saying they have won. They stand a chance, because these are conversations that we're having. But they could do better and retract. My next thought is on the headline you read about the candlelight prayer. Again, it is important to be balanced and to be fair. We've appealed to the president, to help talk, to his people and ensure that there is peace and stability in the country. But we've also seen my old church, the Catholic, take a very political position, and sometimes this is where people now have said is, can the Catholics just tell us whether they're supporting opposition or not? And that should not be the position. I know things have happened in the past, but to say we are going to have a candle vigil, and pray, and the party symbol is a candle or a lampy. You see, all these conversations have become very tricky. I was just having a joke with someone. I said, on the election day, what would happen if you went with candles near the polling station? You've just bought them innocently. Or you have a candle hoping that, a paraffin you want to put in a lamp, and then you go that side. People was, even just today, just walking, because at the hotel where I normally, work from and wine from, in the evenings, they'll put the lanterns, and it's been a culture for some time. But yesterday, is it the day before yesterday, when a guy was passing, he was like, lampi, pe lampi, as if the lampi is now new. So it is synonymous to Monduwire, and for many years to come, and this party. But the Catholic Church also, I think, has gone very deeply to put a position, and it's not what we need to see from our mother church. And I think we needed some bishop, to say, hey, I may not agree with President Church, I may not agree with that position. We can't be this partisan.
I think also we must appreciate the fact that Catholics have been always like that, because I think they believe something, so they've always been like strong in terms of politics. During Lungu, it's maybe where we may say that they may seem like they are taking a side if people are not so much with with the party that they're or the government they're siding with. So we've seen that in Chiluba's era. They were central to making the Oasis Forum. So they've always been political. But I feel like they're also being judged harshly because it's a group of people. And in that group of people, we have people that just want to be, religious and pray. So when we see a party, which is UPND, objecting their prayers, do they have the right to do that?
So Kathy, I would also want to break down two words so that we have a balance. There's a word political. The Catholic Church has already believed that they have a role to play in governance and in politics. But the other word is partisan. So we should differentiate partisan and politics. The Catholic Church is welcome to do politics because politics have to do with policy. Policy initiative. Is this policy okay? Is free education okay? We support it or not? So that is welcome. But partisan politics is where the Catholic Church...
Have they politician, they belong to a party.
You know, several times, because of what has happened in the past. And we are here, people are seeing what has been happening. We've seen bishops march from one church to another, praying, going to see this
because
one.
They are siding with those that seem weak. That's all.
No. Wait a minute. But we've also seen people escort an archbishop who is not weak for an interrogation.
Because they feel sympathy.
Yeah, but you know, Kathy, if you today, where police wanted you, they will tell you, we don't even your brother or sister to escort you. Just come alone. As Kathy, you committed the alleged crime, as he.
Okay, I think we can go on, but I also feel like the bishop is someone who is not ordinary. So, you know, and politicians themselves will want to align with him because they know he runs a big church. Exactly. So they'll go there, even if they are not asked. They'll volunteer to say, we're going to support the bishop.
Also the reason why, you know, we see most of these politicians want to, you know, interact or mingle with the bishops is because, you know, the Catholic Church is usually, it's huge. It's one of the most influential churches, if we, you know, we can just be honest. And we've seen, you know, that in as much as, you know, we are saying sometimes let these bishops or whichever leader, they shouldn't be partisan. But we've seen the Catholic Church spearhead in terms of preaching peace and unity. And I was just looking at the Mass newspaper here, where I have seen, you know, Bishop Banda talking about, you know, let there be peace and violence could mere credibility of elections, says Bishop Banda. So I think there's a lot that the Catholic has done or has contributed in terms of just uniting the country and keeping the peace.
On that spot, if you want to.
It is actually true. The Catholic have been ironic, very ironic, but there have been extreme cases where priests, remember Father Boyda, for instance, said, now, you know, if this guy even killed a chicken, you know, if this guy, so their positions, there's another priest who was removed, I think, from Matero, they're about charismatic priest, you know, so there've been pockets where particular political parties have shown clearly, I mean, particularly priests have shown that they're partisan. And that's why we are saying this, for us, even the Pentecostals, they are preachers we have said, you are being partisan.
Or maybe sometimes some of these preachers, they are called on the side to say, you know, we're going to give you something, we're going to sponsor something. You know, when you go out there, just make sure that you are on our side. And be shown that you are partisan.
Yes, and this is why we are saying now, as a city father, remember governments come and go. If you take a partisan position, I mean, there are even people I respect also. I've seen them take partisan positions, and I've said, look, if I'm going to do if I'm going to speak, then I'm called to I'm a clergy. Then I'm seeing the one opening a prayer for Mundubili at a rally. So that rally means that I'm endorsing Mundubili. Yeah. But if we came here today,
need to stay away from being partisan because look, you see the influence that they have on the congregation, especially
they are stopping them. We are working on assumptions. The Catholic Church may seem partisan, but they have not come out and said we are supporting this party. The bishop has not said we are supporting it, or assuming maybe because of their actions. So they are saying they're still operating as a church. So when they say prayer, they want prayer. So I don't know if it is right for a party to stop a religious prayer meeting, but we're following this story to see what the verdict is. We've run out of time, but maybe, Rhoda, looking at the papers, is there anything that you wish to see and say, to bring out? Looking at all,
I was only on the first one. But I think let's just encourage leaders to continue preaching peace and unity.
Yeah.
You know, in as much as sometimes we might think it might not do anything, when somebody, you know, comes out publicly to say, let there be peace and unity, we will always, sometimes people overlook those statements and say, oh, probably there's nothing it's going to do. You know, these cadres of people involving themselves in political violence will not hear anything. But I think it's just very important that we see such positive messages for the fact that we're only remaining with a few days. Yeah, let's continue seeing that. And just us as the media people, let's also continue encouraging people to be peaceful.
Kizito?
Yeah, I think that peaceful messages and actions, the corresponding actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, tolerance. We should just need to tolerate each other. After that voting day, we'll still come back to our homes, to our relationships, to our families, you know. So we just need to tone down. We'll go back to our churches, you know, but if we had offended each other, you know, it will not be healthy. So let's take it easy. Let's take it easy, yeah.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't also be very, very strong at accusing each other because, you know, if UPND wins tomorrow, they will still be our leaders and we'll still need to work with them. If NRPUP wins, they'll still be our leaders and we need to work with them. So no strong hate because what will happen if those that we hate with a passion win? So like my colleagues have said, peace, peace, peace. We'll be back with Jeremiah giving us sports news. Okay.
We are ready to give people in-depth analysis in terms of the elections.
Hello, as marketing department, we are ready for 2026 general elections.
As the programming team, we are ready for the 2026 general elections.
And in this coming election, as a newsroom, we promise to be objective, to be impartial, and to give you information with unbiased coverage. So follow Prime TV during this election period.
The transport and logistics is ready.
We, the reporters from across the country, are ready to deliver authentic, verified, and balanced election stories as they happen.
The 2026 general elections are here. We are ready.
Why keep your business in the dark? Shine a spotlight on your brand with Prime TV 2.
Has been assaulted by the ant.
Zambia's first ever 24-hour news channel audience through our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia.
Projects that have been dotted across the country.
Advertise with us today. Contact our marketing team on 0978 71 9477. Prime TV 2, the home of breaking news.
The following is a political advert and does not reflect the views of Prime Television, but those of the content provider.
For decades, Zambia has searched for its promise. Through triumph, sacrifice, and difficult seasons. Many promised change. Many spoke of hope, but the burden remained heavy. And then, a servant of the people stepped forward. Not perfect, not a magician, but a man willing to lead his people through the wilderness toward a better Zambia. Like Moses leading his people toward the promised land. The journey was never meant to be easy, because nations are not built overnight. They are built through faith, sacrifice, and perseverance. The work is not finished, but Zambia is moving forward.
On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia.
The preceding content
days away from there, and we was always saying
all you needed in the previous government, all you needed is just to go into the gym, you know, gain a little bit some muscles, and you will be called commander. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, we do have the Zambia Bodybuilding Federation president who will be speaking to us about the same thing. It's got you know, a tour of gyms. He will be going to different gyms to just talk about a number of issues pertaining to that. We have Andros Kumwenda, the president of the ZBBF, the ZBBF president. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Kumwenda.
Good morning. Hi, thanks for having me. In shows, we've done Mr. Matero, Mr. Kanyama, Mr. Mandevu, and we've done a national show called The Iron Man. So we started a good note so far, and there's a couple of shows that are waiting ahead to do, as well as Mr. Zambia.
In this case, of course, there's some you know, bad situations that has happened as far as bodybuilding is concerned. We've lost some people that have died between January and now.
Yes, we've had we lost the prominent guy from Kanyama about a week ago. It's a sorry sight, but something that happened, fortunately. And we can only wish, we send our condolences, of course. And we just wish the family the very best as they are going through a difficult time.
All right. So earlier on, I said about you touring some of these gyms in Lusaka. Can you just tell us how important this is, and which gyms are you visiting and when?
Okay, thank you for that. Even as we started earlier in the year, we've spoken about these issues, electoral violence. And our emphasis and message has been the same, that our members, the bodybuilders and athletes, not tools of violence. Therefore, we shall go back to this evening. I think we should be in Matero. We should be headed to Mandevu tomorrow, as well as Tendere, and Sunday we should be in Kanyama. Anybody that does so, they are doing it in their personal, and they shall be held accountable for their actions. Nonetheless, we've spoken about this even during our shows as we went round all the gym posted, and our message has been the same. And our athletes have maintained the discipline; they've stayed away from such vices. Therefore, the message we shall emphasize as we are getting closer. We are getting closer to elections. Our emphasis is that we shall not engage ourselves in ethical violence. As you may be aware, athletes or bodybuilders shall always remain at open that. Ours is taught. We must ensure that we uphold the peace that this country has seen over a period of time. So therefore, we have to speak and not those of violence. And this is a very serious stance of the Federation. Anybody found, they shall be punished and shall be held accountable for such acts.
Maybe just to elaborate this, because I think they might just be saying, look, we are human beings, and of course we need to make money, and some people might even just get them to be, you know, some of the programs in terms of being cadres and whatnot. What are the dangers of athletes getting involved in cadreism, for example?
So we've seen these things before. They've happened before. It's not something new. Cadreism belonging to a particular political party, and doing cadreism, especially where they are involved, it doesn't end well, because at the end of the day, you must understand that you're a brand ambassador, athlete. Many companies would want to work with you. Nobody wants to work with somebody that is engaged in violence, and therefore, it's very important as an athlete to maintain your discipline and to remain non-partisan so that you remain a good brand. Even our generation, ours is sport. Vote for their candidate, their choice. Of course, people can do politics without violence. All we are asking for is to not engage yourself in violence and remain neutral as you can, so that you remain a good ambassador for the sports.
I know that you will be touring some of these gyms, but of course the message should be carrying across every now and then, because there are certain people that might not be there at the time when you are going to be at Kanyama, for example, or Matero. What are some of the messages that you'd like, or what are some of the things that gym chairman should put in place so that every member should get the message that the motherboard is giving to them?
So we've shared these messages across our platforms, across various WhatsApp groups, and a statement will be issued on the Facebook page, as well as TV interviews. And every chairperson has been engaged already, and they've been talking to the athletes to ensure that they monitor the activities of the athletes, because sometimes our athletes become vulnerable. Somebody will come to them.
All right, so on the line, we do have the...
All right. Any other message that you'd like to share?
The athletes, public out there that might be thinking that bodybuilders are, violent?
We are actually very peaceful people, and the people should be very friendly, be free to engage and be able to interact with us as bodybuilders. It doesn't mean that when you've got a bigger bicep now, it should be used to engage. So we therefore maintain the same stance with our athletes, remain focus on training, focus on the shows ahead of us. And to the public, especially those that may have selfish motive agendas to use our athletes, that please take that agenda away from our athletes. You can engage our athletes in meaningful things, meaningful discussions, not anything to do with our athletes. Therefore, the Federation maintains its stance, which will not engage in measures.
Anything else that you'd like to share before I let you go? I know that you've got a very busy schedule for today.
Yes, thanks a lot for having me. We can share with our partners that we've got a lot of activities coming up. The bodybuilding activity just got, exciting. We have the nationals coming up. We've got the Cup of Shows, just to mention a few, Mr. Mtendela all coming up. Therefore, we continue soliciting for more partnerships, more sponsorships, and we can promise the fans that we will have a good message, as well as Mr. Mansa. And you may be aware the Federation is on the verge of expanding all parts of the country for the existence in all the provinces. So far, we have executives in Luapula province, we have executives in the Southern province, and we are hosting a show also in Southern province. So there's a lot of activities lined up. So therefore, go for more partnership, more engagement, more sponsorship from the corporate world. And we promise our fans, because as ZBBF and the Zambia Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation got a huge fan base that has supported us over a long period of time. We want to promise them good show and everything in place, good security, everything is intact, and they are going to enjoy a good shows without interruptions. We promise them a good year, partner with us, and look forward to it on our Facebook pages, Instagram.
When the Z Nationals are going to be, the dates, and probably how they can get in touch with you in terms of sponsorship.
Yeah, so our Z Nationals, which is Zambia, is on the 28th of November 2026 at the government complex. For the first time in the history of bodybuilding, hosting 10 different divisions, 10 different categories. We are introducing different age disability divisions. We are also introducing the Masters division, and we are doing junior bodybuilding, which is under 23 years of age. novice bodybuilding, and well as senior bodybuilding. So there's quite a number of divisions that athletes from across the country, they can on our page, Instagram page, there's numbers listed there. On posters, there are numbers listed there. They can get in touch through our emails. They can get in touch, and we can partner with that.
President, thank you very much for having, taken your, precious time to come and, this information that is very, very cardinal, especially in as far as elections is concerned and bodybuilding.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Was the president's Zambia fitness, at least they comply with the norms of bodybuilding, of course, being peaceful and non-partisan. Of course, they have to make sure that they, preach peace everywhere where they go. Having a biceps or a bigger bicep doesn't mean that you have to perpetrate violence, but you have to stay away from violence because, of course, if you do that, you are compromising your chances of getting sponsors, getting people that are supposed to be sponsoring and making sure that you become the brand ambassador. So they are, by default, they are ambassadors for peace, and that's what they are called for. So make sure that if you are a bodybuilder, you stay away from being a cadre because you're going to be used for the shortest period of time. And then many times, all the biggest time that you will be doing all these things, you kill your career. All right, so as we conclude, maybe we can just talk about the Africa Cup of Nations, the WAFCON that is going on. Unfortunately, Zambia were booted out, but we still have so many other games that we should be looking at and that will be happening. Of course, the likes of Malawi will be playing against Ghana. So the quarterfinals will be played on Saturday and Sunday. So by that time, we will know exactly the teams that are going to qualify into the next round of fixtures, into the semifinals. And all the teams that are going to qualify, the 4 teams that are going to win, will qualify automatically to the World Cup that will be hosted by Brazil in 2027. So we'll be looking forward to that. And some of those teams that might just win. Malawi is one of those that might win against Ghana, so we can't rule them out. They stand a chance, a very big chance of them qualifying into the next round of fixtures. So let me just give the teams that have qualified already. We've got Cameroon, Morocco, the host nation, Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire, and South Africa, Malawi, Nigeria, and Ghana. One thing that is important to look at or to take note is that Morocco being the host and being in the tournament means that more revenue for Africa Cup of Nations, of course, for CAF. So they will be making a little bit some money. Having the host nation being in the tournament, the turnout will be big in all the games that will be played. So Morocco will play against South Africa. If you do remember 2022, this is the final that was played, and Morocco were beaten in the finals by South Africa, and South Africa managed to win that 2022 WAFCON. And they are the host nation, so they would like to win. And then, of course, we'll have Cameroon versus Nigeria. Nigeria, the most decorated team in as far as WAFCON is concerned. They've won it 10 consecutive times, and they are the defending champions. Playing against Cameroon will be huge, and they've played together at the Africa Cup of Nations. Has always been really difficult to play, and of course, this is going to be the Western African derby. Both teams play the same kind or similar kind of football, so we'll see exactly how that is just going to turn out and how it's going to pair. And another game that we should look out for is, of course, Algeria. They will be playing as well. Malawi will play against Ghana, like I said, and Algeria against Cote d'Ivoire. And so those are some of the other games that will be played. So it's going to be absolutely amazing games that we should be watching and enjoying ourselves to the fullest. And the losers for the quarterfinals, all those 4 teams that will lose will get into the playoffs for the Confederations of African Football. So we'll be looking forward to those playoffs as well. Something that has been mentioned, of course, that has been coming. So the qualifiers, that is going to be the 4 teams will qualify automatically to the World Cup, and the 4 others will get into the qualifying stage, and of course the playoffs that will be happening. So that is just one beautiful thing that will be happening at this particular moment. So, and of course we'll get into the semifinals later, and so much that will be happening, so much that will be going on in as far as football is concerned. And of course, from these group stages, they've scored more goals than ever before, the goals that have been scored in the history of WAFCON. So we've seen such things happening, and it's amazing that Zambia has contributed. Despite them coming back, I think they've contributed to the all goals that have been scored at in the group stages of the WAFCON at this moment. And everybody else is hoping Barbara Banda wins the golden boots. We hope for the best, and of course that is just one thing that is should be happening. And of course, so kudos to Zambia, I think, for everything that they've done. And just to be specific, 67 goals have been scored so far, and 22 matches that have been played, the highest total in WAFCON history. So it seems that this WAFCON is going to bring a lot of goals that will be scored at the end of it all. And let's see which team is going to win. The defending champions in contention. South Africa has won it before. Morocco in contention as well. Algeria and Malawi, who just qualified for the first time in their history. And they've made names. In terms of history, they've really made it. And of course, they've done so much in this WAFCON, qualifying for the first time and getting into the knockout stages at the expense of Zambia and Egypt is just one thing, because Zambia is more decorated in terms of WAFCON. They've been to the WAFCON so many times as compared to Malawi. So them tipping them and winning the group is just the package that nobody expected. Big up to them, and of course, all the best to every team that will be participating in these games. And on Monday, we'll get back and give you the results of what will come through from the semi-final or from the quarterfinals, and the 4 teams that will qualify into the semi-finals, and those that will qualify to the playoffs. We will give you results of that. Thank you very much, and on behalf of Kizito, Catherine, as well as Rhoda, thank you very much, and of course the production crew. Of course, we're talking about Brian, Billy, who's been outstanding there, making sure that everything works out. All the guests that came through and everybody that we contacted through phone, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Keep watching PTV2, and make sure to follow our Facebook page as well, PTV2 Zambia. Follow it and follow everything that will be happening, and make sure that you follow this everything that is happening here, because we will be giving you updates in as far as elections is concerned. So thank you very much. God bless. Bye-bye.